Episode 21. B2 Level. Hi everyone, and welcome to Daily 5 Words, Episode 21. On this channel, our goal is to help you learn 5 new English words every day in a fun and easy way. We always start with a short story where today's words are used naturally, and then we explain each word in detail so you can understand it clearly and use it confidently.
If you've been watching all the episodes so far, then with this one you've already learned 105 English words. And if you haven't watched all the previous episodes yet, I highly recommend going back and watching them. It's the best way to build your vocabulary step by step. Today's words are superficial, dispute, trespass, negotiate, resolve.
So, I'm going to tell you today's story, and while you listen, pay attention to how these words appear naturally in real situations. Once the story is finished, we'll break down each word with examples and useful tips so you can use them like a pro in your own conversations. If you enjoy this kind of content, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. You can also download the PDF and audio files for this episode in the description section. Make sure to listen to the audio throughout the day. It's one of the best ways to improve your listening and remember new vocabulary. All right, let's get started.
The Old Park Secret. In a quiet town, there was an old park that most people ignored. The grass was wild, the benches were broken, and many people had only a superficial idea of its history. To them, it was just an empty, useless place. But for Daniel, the park was full of childhood memories and hidden stories.
One afternoon, Daniel noticed a serious dispute between 2 shop owners near the park. They were arguing about who should take care of the land. Each one believed the other was responsible. The argument became loud and uncomfortable, and people started to gather around. No one wanted to get involved because they were afraid the situation would get worse.
Later that evening, Daniel saw a man trying to trespass through a locked gate at the far end of the park. The man said he wanted to take pictures of the old trees, but the rules were clear. Instead of getting angry, Daniel calmly explained that the area was private and unsafe. The man apologized and stepped back.
Daniel believed that problems could be solved if people were willing to talk. The next day, he invited the 2 shop owners to sit together and negotiate peacefully. At first, both were stubborn, but slowly they began to listen. They talked about their worries and their hopes for the park. After hours of discussion, they finally agreed to resolve their conflict. Together, they decided to work as a team. They cleaned the park, fixed the benches, and planted new flowers. Over time, the park became a beautiful place again. The town learned an important lesson that day. Never judge something with a superficial view. Never let a small dispute grow into a big problem. And always choose communication over conflict. Word number 1. Superficial. Part of speech? Adjective. Meaning. Describe something that is only on the surface or not deep. When a person's understanding, knowledge, or feelings are shallow rather than thorough. It can describe physical things, like a surface wound, or abstract things, like a shallow understanding of a topic. Example sentences. Her knowledge of the subject was only superficial. She hadn't read the books. The damage to the car looked serious, but it was only superficial. Don't make superficial judgments about people based on their clothing. Synonyms. Shallow, surface level, cursory, cosmetic. Word family. Superficially, adverb, done in a shallow or surface way without deep attention or effort.
She smiled superficially while her mind was elsewhere. Superficiality. Noun. The quality or condition of being shallow, lacking depth in thought or emotion. The article's superficiality made it disappointing for experts.
Common uses and phrases. Superficial knowledge or understanding. Having only basic or surface-level information about a subject. Example: he had only superficial knowledge of the law. Superficial wound or damage. A physical injury or harm that affects only the outer surface. Example: the scratch on the table is superficial and can be fixed.
Other information for learners. Superficial is slightly formal and often used in critique, writing, and analysis. In casual speech, people might say shallow or only on the surface.
Word number 2. Dispute. Part of speech, noun and verb. Meaning. As a noun, a dispute is a disagreement, argument, or conflict between people or groups. As a verb, to dispute something means to question, argue against, or challenge it. Disputes can be informal between individuals and formal in legal or political situations.
Example sentences. A long dispute over property divided the family. They disputed the facts in the report. The trade dispute between the two countries lasted for months. Synonyms: argument, disagreement, quarrel, contest. Word family. Disputed, adjective and past verb, something that has been challenged or argued about by people. The disputed territory caused tension. Example: the disputed bill went to court. Disputable, adjective, something that can be questioned and is open to debate. The claim is disputable, so check the sources. Example: his conclusion is disputable. Common uses and phrases. Legal dispute, a serious disagreement that is taken to court. Example: the company is involved in a legal dispute with its supplier. Settle a dispute, to solve a disagreement and bring it to an end. Example: they used mediation to settle the dispute. Other information for learners. Dispute is common in news, business, and legal contexts. As a verb, it often sounds more formal than argue about.
Word number 3. Trespass. Part of speech, verb, and noun. Meaning. As a verb, to trespass means to go onto someone else's land or property without permission. As a noun, trespass refers to the act of entering illegally or offending someone's rights. It often has legal meaning and consequences.
Example sentences. Don't trespass on private land. There are warning signs. The homeowner called the police after a trespasser entered the garden. He apologized for the trespass and left immediately. Synonyms: encroach, intrude, invade, break in.
Word family. Trespasser. Noun. A person who intentionally or accidentally enters land or property without permission and breaks rules or laws. The trespasser was warned to leave. Example: security caught the trespasser near the warehouse.
Trespassing, noun and verb. The act of being on private property without permission, especially when it is illegal. Trespassing on private property is illegal. Example: the sign warned that trespassing would be prosecuted. Common uses and phrases. No trespassing, a warning sign that tells people they must not enter. Example: we saw a no trespassing sign on the gate. Criminal trespass, the illegal act of entering property without permission in a way that breaks the law. Example: he was charged with criminal trespass after entering the site at night.
Other information for learners. Trespass is used in legal and formal English. It can also be used figuratively, such as to trespass on someone's privacy, meaning to invade personal space or rights.
Word number 4. Negotiate. Part of speech. Verb. Meaning. To discuss something carefully with another person or group in order to reach an agreement. It often involves compromise, patience, and the ability to communicate clearly. It is common in business, politics, and daily life situations.
Example sentences. The union will negotiate with management for better pay. They negotiated the price of the car until both sides agreed. She is skilled at negotiating difficult deals. Synonyms: bargain, discuss terms, mediate, haggle.
Word family. Negotiation. Noun. The process of serious discussion between two sides in order to reach an agreement or solution. Negotiations lasted several weeks. Example: the negotiation was successful.
Negotiator. Noun. A person whose role is to speak and bargain for a group or individual to reach a fair agreement. The negotiator helped avoid a strike. Example: the chief negotiator spoke for the company.
Common uses and phrases. Negotiate a deal or contract. To discuss and agree on the terms of an agreement. Example: they negotiated a contract with better conditions. Negotiate terms. To carefully discuss the details before agreeing. Example: she refused to sign until they negotiated the terms.
Other information for learners. Negotiate is used in both formal and everyday English. It is very common in business, salary discussions, and legal situations.
Word number 5. Resolve. Part of speech, verb, and noun. Meaning. As a verb, to resolve means to find a clear solution to a problem, conflict, or difficult situation. As a noun, resolve means strong determination and the ability to stay firm in a decision.
Example sentences. The committee worked hard to resolve the conflict. She resolved to study more and improve her grades. There was a strong resolve among the team to finish the project. Synonyms: settle, solve, decide, determine. Word family. Resolution. Noun. The act of formally solving a problem or making a serious and official decision. Example: the council passed a resolution to fund the park. Resolved. Adjective. Showing strong personal determination and a firm decision to act or not to act. Example: she was resolved to change her habits.
Common uses and phrases. Resolve a dispute or problem. To successfully bring a disagreement or issue to an end by finding a solution. Example: the mediator helped resolve the dispute. New Year's resolution. A strong personal promise to improve behavior or habits in the coming year. Example: my resolution is to exercise more. Other information for learners. Resolve is useful in both formal and informal English. When used in conflicts, it often suggests a final and clear solution. As a noun, it emphasizes strong personal will and determination.